with Rice leading by 2, 13-11. Greg Lucas here along with Reed Geddes. Glad to have you with us, and we'll be with you the rest of the way in this ball game. It is 13-11, Rice over Tech with a 13-minute, 3-second clock time here in the first period. Tech has led by as many as 5 points. Rice has had a couple of 2-point leads, and that's where it stands right now. As a couple of substitutions are being made, we'll pick them up in just a moment. The Rice Owls so far have been led in scoring by Shuttlecotti with 4, Peaks with 3, and Tynes with 4. On the other side, Lance Hughes has 3, Sasser 4, and Darvin Ham 4. And that brings you up to date with the numbers as the action resumes. In the white, the hometown team from Texas Tech. Davis with the basketball, tried to dump it in, and it's deflected out of bounds, intended for Clayton. Now let's take a look at the game plan. Reed Geddes first for Rice.
Well, for the Rice Owls, they've got to ace the boards. If they want to win this game, they've got to win the battle on the boards. And as I go, we go. Willis Wilson needs production from his bench, particularly freshman Sean Igo, who's in the game now. And Texas Tech loves to shoot them up from certain spots on the floor, and Rice has got to shoot them out of those spots.
Game plan, of course, presented by the folks at 4. Davis trying to go baseline, cut off there. Sasser has to give it to Davis behind the line. He penetrates in for 12, rolls it out, and it goes out of bounds. Let's take a look at the Tech game plan brought to you by 4.
Well, for Texas Tech, they've got to tame Torrey Andrews. Torrey Andrews has been on a torrid pace for Rice, and Ham Dunk. Texas Tech has superior athleticism, and they have to take advantage of that. And Lance Hughes always has big games against Rice, and he's already off to a good start this afternoon.
Naming some of those bench players here in this moment. Clayton, one of them, into the game. There's Bernard Lloyd, the big guy, about 6'8", 6'9", 250, missing his first attempt, but Sasser rolls it through. Jason Sasser has 6. He's averaging 19.7. A sophomore from Dallas having a superb season.
Here with 12 minutes to go in the first half, both coaches have really already gone deep onto their bench and come out with a lot of reserves on the floor right now.
The game is tied at 13. Rice 3-1 in conference play. James Dickey in his third year here, 40-34 overall, 7-8 this season, but 2-2, coming off a 96-69 non-conference win over Missouri, Kansas City Tuesday, in which he thought the team definitely played the best they have all year.
Early on in the game, Rice was really having problems in a man-to-man defense against Texas Tech, and now they've switched to a 1-2-2 matchup zone.
That was Coy Smith with his first 3. Singletary gets 2 of them, and he gets all 3 of them back. And so it's that kind of a start. We're tied at 16. Eric Singletary, a freshman from Washington, with his first hoop. 16-16.
And here's that 1-2-2 matchup we were talking about. You got to really look at the vulnerable points are right there at the high post and then down here on the baseline.
Sasser rims it through. That's a 2. Toes on the line. Sasser with the basket. His 4th field goal. And it's 18-16.
I am really impressed with how much Jason Sasser has improved over the last year. He is really a phenomenal force right now.
Igo works in close with those long arms over the top. There's Sean Igo. You talked about him. He's a freshman redshirt from West Columbia, 6'9", but he's got the arms of a 7-footer. They are long.
As I go, we go. He is really a fun player to watch. He's real emotional kid.
We're tied at 18 with 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Texas Tech and Rice, Southwest Conference action on your Raycom station. Off pass down, intercepted in close by Cravens and held on to by the Owls. Peaks with the basketball. Adam Peaks looks into Cravens, now swings it around for a 3. Off the back lip. Texas Tech coming up court. Jason Sasser. Little dribble drive move to the baseline. Airballed it. Peaks with the ball. Singletary. And the Owls not afraid to push it. Peaks swings it down low. Cravens one-hander. Rolling out. No luck there. Follow shot. Tynes. He's fouled. And he'll get to shoot a couple. Looked like he was hit there by Mark Davis.
Well, down there on the other end, Jason Sasser did the smart thing. Anytime you shoot an air ball, what you do is you look at the ref immediately and you grab your arm. You go, ref, he hit my arm.
You never did that ever, did you?
Oh, every time I shot. Except I usually flopped down on the floor and held my arm.
There's Willis Wilson, the head coach of the Rice Owls. Last year, 18-10 in his rookie year. This year, lost some key players, 3 key starters. A lot of question marks. How good or not good would they be? Well, they're 11-5 overall, 3-1 in conference play. So he's done a great job, and he's got some great play from guys like Scott Tynes playing his senior year.
Yeah, he sure has. And instead of rebuilding, what he's kind of done is restructured the Rice Owls. And he's done it through versatility of athletes. And Scott Tynes is a perfect example of that.
Shuttlecotti missing inside, but the tap is there on the other side by Cravens. Jesse Cravens, another freshman. He's from San Antonio hits his first basket. He's averaging just a .6, 21-18. Texas Tech with a basketball, trailing by 3, and we have a whistle down inside, little jockeying for position.
Well, this is going to be a fun game all afternoon because both these teams are real similar. They all go about 6'7" all the way across the front line, and all three of the guys can play a lot of different positions.
Timeout with a 21-18 lead for Rice with 9:58 to go in the first half.
I went out to buy a car and came home with a truck. Everybody saw my new Ford Ranger and said, "Oh, we in luck." Now I've been driving non-stop because my girl likes to shop and my mom wants a fridge from way over the bridge, and my boss just bought a condo. Better start hauling pronto. My best friend says it's cool. Let's go cruising like we did in school. Don't get me wrong, Ford Ranger's the truck I'm gonna keep. I just wish I could get some sleep.
Because most of our flights are short, this is what our meals look like on Southwest Airlines. It's also what our fares look like. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. Southwest Airlines has one of the best on-time records in the country.
Mr. Smith, you're early.
Just something to remember. Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart.
When your life is on the line,
They're gonna keep coming at you no matter where you go.
What am I gonna do?
you need more than a bodyguard.
The man we got is you.
You need Harper.
This fool's crazy. How about that?
You'll never survive.
It's payback time.
Cool.
Because no matter what kind of trouble you're in,
Great. Everybody has guns.
this is the guy who can get you out. Jack Scalia is the point man.
It's at the Saturday Night Drive-In tonight at 10.
This ball game, of course, got underway a little bit late on television due to the fact their first game ran a little long. And I know the folks in Georgetown want to see our MCI proof positive replay because one of their own was popping.
Did you see the way Lance Hughes floated to that open spot? Jason Sasser was dribbling into the middle, and instead of just standing in one place, he floated out to the top of the key. And in the last 4 games, that young man has really been shooting the ball well from three-point land.
Lance from Georgetown, that means the Austin affiliate would be their source for Raycom Sports, we would presume, so they got to see something that we didn't bring you live. But Lance has been tough against the Owls. He's averaged 22 points in the 4 games he's played against them. So far, that's the only basket he has in this game, but he's always dangerous.
And last year in Houston, he had a huge game.
Guy Clayton with a 3. This man has been automatic. He is a walk-on from Austin, speaking of Austin. Averaging only 3 points a game, but he has hit now 8 of the 10 shots he has taken this year. And that's his first 3 that is connected. It is 21-21.
And Guy Clayton is a junior, and in 2 years, he had only played a total of 15 minutes. And last game, he played 18 minutes, and he's the backup point guard right now for this Texas Tech team.
Shuttlecock working outside against the defense now. Rabbit's going to pull it back and reset with 8 on the shot clock. 5 on the shot clock. Shuttlecock throws it up. Didn't hit anything, so the clock will expire anyway. It goes out of bounds.
And great defense by Jason Sasser. Jason Sasser's given up about 3 inches and close to 50 pounds when he's trying to guard big Todd Shuttlecock. But anyone that talks about Jason Sasser, they talk about his intensity and his competitiveness. And it doesn't matter what size disadvantage it is. That young man's going to play hard.
Clayton dumps it in. Garvin Hampkin maneuver rolling in.
And that's some of that athleticism we were talking about. Garvin Ham can really get up off the ground. And this is about the 3rd play already that he's just jumped up over the Rice Owl player and shot the ball.
He's only averaging 8 points a game, but he scored 12 the last 3. And Tynes on the top of the circle bangs it in. That was a 2. Scott Tynes with his 3rd basket to go with a free throw, and it's 23-23. That is tie number 4. 8 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the first half. Ham says, go over the other way. And instead, Hughes says, I'll come this way anyway. Clayton on top. Sasser trying to back in. Now spins. Sasser rolls it out. He'll go to the line. Andrews is going to be called for the foul.
Jason Sasser's a fun kid to watch. Coach Dickey told me yesterday he feels like Jason Sasser is the best small forward in the Southwest Conference right now. And that's a heck of a statement for a kid that's just a sophomore. And Coach Dickey told me that if Jason Sasser will improve next year as much as he improved this year, that he's going to be one of the best small forwards in the country.
Well, he had the great pedigree. He was the Texas consensus 5A player of the year as a high school senior, averaging 27.5 points, and then last year averaged over 10 as a rookie. And you can see the field goal percentages for these two teams. You're not going to see bad shooting normally, and so far we have not. Texas Tech number 2.
Excuse me, and you're not going to see bad free throw shooting either. And Jason Sasser's one of those guys who right now is 5th in the Southwest Conference in free throw shooting.
72%. He's 1 for 1 here. He has 9 points. And it's 24-23, and now 25-23 Tech. 8 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first half as Rabbit brings the ball up court. Peaks is getting set to come back into the lineup for the Owls. Clayton trying to disrupt the offense. There's Andrews, hasn't been heard from yet. Now he has. And I'll tell you what, he's coming off a 37-point, 12-rebound game against Baylor, his first basket. And it's 25-25.
And it's unbelievable in that Baylor game. He was the best free throw shooter in the Southwest Conference, and he only went 13 of 19 from the line. So he probably could have had 45 points.
Hughes missing, but Sasser draws down the long rebound. Ham looks for a cutter, has to go cross court. Plenty of time, 24 on the shot clock. There's the cutter. Shot almost tipped in inadvertently. McGee stays with it on the miss by Davis. And here comes Rice. Rabbit. But Andrews is cut off there. Excellent defensive play by Sasser. Lob. Look out!
Hey, I love seeing that kid on a fast break. I mean, why just do a layup, or why just do a plain old regular dunk when you can double clutch it and do a reverse?
Lance Hughes. Andrews with a double, triple team, throws it up, no whistle, no basket. Now finally a foul on the rebound, back on Shuttlecotty.
Hey, Lance Hughes is a former high school high jumper, and this kid can get up. And what I love is he takes advantage of the emotional momentum that a wonderful slam dunk can give a team.
Before Rice puts it in play, we've got a timeout. It's a 2-point Tech lead, 6:47 and a half.
It's the place to catch some of baseball's first pitches, and where people love to throw themselves into the game. But the town of Sarasota, Florida is also a major financial center because it's served by Nations Bank, which lets Albert and Fruit Company pick from the widest range of commercial services, gives families like the Piles greater investment options, and helps people keep all their bases covered in Sarasota and in 1,900 other communities throughout our nation.
You can see it on his face. He has run the human race.
You can see when a man has the best shave. He uses Gillette Sensor.
See the spirit, see the pride that comes from deep inside.
He adds Gillette Shaving Gel, the best gel ever, and Gillette Aftershave Skin Conditioner for maximum comfort. Together with Sensor, there's no better shave in the world.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
This machine makes something that's in high demand these days. An item that represents many things, like quality, innovation, and the pursuit of perfection, which is why you'll find this popular item on both America's best-selling car and America's best-selling truck. In fact, 5 of the 10 best-selling vehicles in America last year were wearing one of these. Ford. We're attached to quality.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by the Texas Lottery. And tonight's Lotto Texas estimated jackpot is $3 million.
There's the lovely Robinson family. Kelly Robinson, SID up here at Texas Tech, that does such a wonderful job. That's his beautiful wife and children.
Camden and Carson are the twins. By the way, both teams shooting very well. 52 and almost 52.5%. Both 11 for 21 here early, and it just went up a little bit more as Sasser scores inside. And it's 29-24. Tech's largest lead was 5. It's 4 at this moment. Peaks with a basketball.
Jason Sasser continuing to do an excellent job on Todd Shuttlecutty. They've really got a disadvantage down there in the blocks.
Shuttlecutty sets a big pick for Peaks, who weaves his way through traffic, throws it up, no, foul. On his way to the basket, he was pushed off the ball. That was tough, and it's a foul on Coy Smith. That's the second on Smith. Team foul 4. But it was a shooting foul, so Peaks goes to the line. Peaks this year shooting 69% from the free throw line.
Adam Peaks is really a fun kid to watch. There's a great article in the Houston paper the other day where Adam was talking about Adam's versatility. And what Adam says, he goes, hey, look, I want to be the best on the team at everything. And he almost is. He's first in steals, first in blocks, first in assists, first in rebounds, and second in scoring. So I'd say he's done a pretty good job of accomplishing that goal.
Had a little trouble at the foul line this year, though. Last year shot 83% from the line, and you see him miss 2 here, and his numbers were in the 60s. It's still a 4-point lead. Rice got the ball back. Peaks. And on the rebound, Shuttlecutty's going to be pushed off and pulled for the personal foul. That will be his second. Don't forget, at the end of the game, we'll be selecting our Dr. Pepper player of the game, so stay with us. That's the 5th team foul, so neither team yet shooting here in the first half. Tech leading by 4, 29-25.
Handling the point guard right now is 6'7", 220-pound Mark Davis, junior college transfer, who has a wonderful array of gifts. He can play just about all 5 positions on the floor.
In fact, that's one of the versatile things about this Tech lineup. A lot of good athletes, and they are perfect for a motion-type offense to what they run because they can play all those positions.
And right there, although he mishandled the entry pass, was a perfect example. He brought the ball down as a point guard and then immediately went down and posted up as the center. So that's a great athlete. The young man is going to get better and better as he adjusts to Division I basketball.
Rabbit slides it off to Peaks. Al's having a tough time last several times down court getting good shots. And they have not been able to get anything out of Andrews, and you can see why. Triple teaming him, and that, getting away with one there perhaps. Sasser, Shuttlecutty got bumped off. Sasser got hurt a little bit. He stings on the shoulder. Andrews trying to work through the defense, and goaltend basket Andrews, but I'll tell you, is he having to work to get a shot?
Yeah, they are really banging him. It's funny, a while ago, Jason Sasser ran into big Shuttlebody, was holding his chest. Watch how hard Torrey Andrews having to work just to get the ball. Great job of double team, and a great job of Torrey Andrews of getting that ball up. It looked like he was about to fall over.
He's got 4 points, but it has been a job. It's 29-27. Smith. Hughes is cut off. He spins back baseline. And he is hit. That'll be a pushing foul on Peaks. His first, team foul 6, and a shooting foul. Earlier today in Southwest Conference play, SMU gave Texas A&M, I should say, quite a battle, but the Aggies win it at home and are still the team to beat in the Southwest Conference standings. In fact, no one has. They're 5-0. Texas and Rice 3-1 going into play today and tonight.
What a terrific compliment to perseverance and also the job that Tony Baroni has done in College Station. When you think about 2 years ago where that A&M program was and where it is today, it is nothing short of phenomenal.
Thing is, everyone knew that Tony was going to get it done because he's an outstanding coach, but knowing you're going to do it and actually getting it done are 2 different things, and he's getting it there.
Yeah, that's right. He came in and did exactly what he was billed to be, and that's one of the best people in the country at coming in and building a program just like he did at Creighton.
Andrews has the ball way out back. Still a 4-point lead for Tech, and Tech is just playing a very tight, aggressive defense here in the first half. Lob Shuttlecutty, double team when it's down low. The handoff to Peaks, into Andrews, and he bobbled it out of bounds. Actually, Rice, I won't say they overpassed. The problem was that last pass was hard to handle.
Well, Willis Wilson has done such a great job of structuring this offense to where everyone is so unselfish. But I think you're exactly right. Adam Peaks had his feet inside the paint, and anytime you see both your feet inside the paint area, go ahead and do a jump stop and go up and shoot the ball.
Hughes swings it across to Sasser, over the top of Andrews and in. Jason Sasser now has 6 field goals and 2 free throws in the first half, and it's 33-27, a 6-point lead, the longest lead that Tech has had on the board. Shuttlecutty, Rabbit. Now Tynes on the baseline, aired it. out of bounds, and it may still be Rice's. It will. The aggressive rebounding that time. Couldn't control it. We got a break with a 33-27 score. Tech will be back after this from our friends at Schick.
With the first pick in the 1993 NBA draft.
Each year, a new group of rising stars is drafted into the NBA.
What a play by Weber!
With hard work and determination, many of them will be elevated to all-star status.
Start tall, rejected by Bradley.
And one of them might just be the next superstar.
Ryder goes up high!
Don't miss the Schick Rookie Game, part of NBA All-Stars Saturday night.
Introducing the all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was, and more.
Something wild is happening to men's grooming. Now the Gillette series of high-performance products comes in an invigorating new scent. Wild Rain, the newest fragrance of the Gillette series.
Travel arranged through Continental. One airline can make a difference. One pass lets you earn free travel faster than any other airline. That's the difference on Continental.
Defense has keyed Tech's lead right now, and here's an example on the MCI proof positive replay what defense can lead to, Reed.
Great hustle by Jason Sasser, and also a great job of, as soon as he gets his hand on the ball, looking up the floor without dribbling. Look at him look up immediately and throw it out there, and just threw it out there in front of Lance Hughes. And when you get it to Lance Hughes in that position, start the highlight film. I mean, because he is going to do something sweet.
That's our MCI proof positive replay. Now we'll get set for action to resume as the ball will be inbounded by Rice under the basket. Got 17 left on the shot clock. Rabbit comes off the screen. Igo's back in the game inside. We'll take a look at the players that came in after the timeout. Peaks, nice move, but he couldn't finish it. Gets the rebound, and it's fouled.
Texas Tech doing a superior job of it with their defensive intensity, and early on they've really taken Rice out of their offense, and not many teams can take Rice out of what they want to do offensively.
Taking a look at the statistical story, of course, it's a 6-point game, but the shooting has been outstanding both ways. Tech actually has fewer shots at this point, but their percentage is superb. They're getting some good ones. They're having a good time getting it inside. Peaks has not been shooting free throws, but neither has the team. 1 out of 5.
Adam Peaks has been a real feast or famine at the free throw line this year. He'll have some games where he'll revert back to last year. He finished second in the Southwest Conference in free throw shooting. And he'll have some games where he hits 6, 7, 8 in a row, and then he'll go a couple games where he misses 4 or 5. So it's really been an up and down season at the free throw line for Adam Peaks.
Sasser with the basketball as the 33-29 score. 3:05 to go in the first half. Clayton back in the game, working out at the point. Hand lobs it down to Davis. May have been a hold or a push-off.
Yeah, what happened?
Push-off.
Mark Davis had his hand. Anytime you're posting up in that position, you need to have your forearm when you're holding off the defensive player. You need to have it going up and down. You need to have it in a vertical position, because if you have it horizontal, anytime that you go to the basket, it's going to look like you pushed off.
33-29, and interestingly enough, at practice yesterday, that was one thing I recall at one point James Dickey was warning his team about. Watch that offhand, because they'll call it every time. Here's Sasser. Peaks chasing. Sasser just stops on a dime and lays it in.
Beautiful full-court pass by Mark Davis.
That's 16 points in the first half for Sasser. Last year, in 2 games against Rice, he scored a total of 13, and I think he solved things. He's got 16 here in the first half. It's 35-29. Taken away from Times. Overplayed by Davis. Lumbing it up to Ham. A ham dunk.
What a great name to have to be able to jump like that. Here, everybody go, ham dunk.
It's 37-29. Largest lead of the game for Tech. And the crowd is up for this one. Rabbit spins off the D. Can't get it up. Peaks. Three. Yes. Oh, my. So much for free throws. He's hit 2 threes, and it's 37-32.
And that was big because it immediately set this crowd down, and they went, oh, doggone.
He had a big 3 against Baylor in the last conference game. That ball knocked loose. Finally, Ham takes it on the corner. Just got it past, and look at the aggressive play of Peaks. Where's he going with it? He found a man. Here's Rabbit. And Clayton on the block from behind.
Beautiful block. Let's take a look again at that Ham dunk. Watch what an athlete this kid is. To catch the ball, and he's so strong, and be able to go up and do that without dribbling is really a super, super play.
Great hustle by Guy Clayton that time, not to give up and hustle down and block that left. And I don't think Kevin Rabbit had any idea that Guy Clayton was right behind him.
A little delay here because they're wiping some perspiration off the other end of the court.
Yeah, and how about that hustle by Adam Peaks? Dive on the floor, get the loose ball, and then have presence of mind to kick it out to a fast-breaking Sean Igo.
37-32 with 1:17 to go in the half. Rabbit spins off to Cravens. Igo, let's see the long arm. This with him. And on the rebound, it may be Igo on the back.
And look at Jason Sasser. He's really the emotional leader on this team. It was really fun to watch him in practice yesterday. When the second-string team would score against Sasser and his first-string guys, Sasser took it personal. I mean, he was furious that the other team even scored in practice. And he was really getting on Janae Cooper, going, come on, freshman, come on, freshman. It's like, come on now, Jason, you're only a sophomore.
Much more experience.
That's right. It doesn't matter. As long as you're not a freshman anymore, then nothing else matters.
He'll be at the line here. That's into the bonus now. Be sure to join us at halftime, by the way. We'll update the Southwest Conference women's basketball scene on the Volkswagen Women's Halftime Report. That's all coming up in just 1:08. And we'll be at the half. Sasser at the free throw line, 2 for 2 in this game. And boy, do they give him the respect at home here. Nobody breathes.
It was quiet.
I feel like I'm talking, and the people in the upper deck are gonna hear me.
One time.
It's 38-32, and Sasser will have one more. What a first half. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 field goals, 3 free throws.
Well, when Coach Dickey told me that he could be the best small forward in the country, I kind of went, yeah, Coach, yeah. But I tell you what, I'm starting to believe that. He is really an outstanding basketball player.
39-32, 7-point lead. Texas Tech, Rice with a basketball. Ravens makes a move baseline, knocked away by Ham. Ham tries to lead the break. Now, most centers can't do this, you know. That's what we're talking about with the versatility of this team. They can all handle the ball, all can move. And so don't be fooled by that 7 and 8 overall record. Ham tries baseline, runs into traffic there. Bad play. Maybe did a little too much that time. Times. 39 seconds, 31 on the shot clock. Times to Peaks. Peaks loses the ball. Scramble. We may have a tie ball, and we'll give it to the Arrow. The Arrow's going to keep it where it is. It will be Rice basketball. 23 seconds in the period.
That scene right there is a wonderful compliment to James Dickey and Willis Wilson. When there's a ball on the floor, these two teams, they're such a reflection of their coach's personality that you're not going to see one guy kind of going after it. You're going to see a pile. It's going to be a rugby scrum down there going after that loose ball.
James Dickey with instructions. You know, Willis at Rice had a drill. He was unhappy with the rebounding in some of the games, particularly after the loss to A&M. So he had a drill where he had a basketball. He had, there was 3 guys of in each team, and he said, go get it.
Yeah, just set it down and let them go at it. And I tell you what, that drill is no fun.
23 seconds, and tripping on Ham.
Oh, I don't love it.
Igo was getting ready to put one down.
Yeah, he was. He is such a fun kid to watch.
Earlier this year when they were playing it was Wisconsin or Minnesota. Minnesota,
yeah.
He got a slam dunk that Willis told me just absolutely brought the house down. That he took off way too far out, and everyone's like, oh no, he's going to get hung up. And said he dunked it so hard, and then the kid got so excited, he hyperventilated. He was pumping his arms and was so excited. He was pointing on his chest, and Willis was going, what's wrong, what's wrong? And he was like, I can't breathe.
He redshirted last year, and from Austin, where he was born, went to West Columbia High, and Maybe he hyperventilated there. He'll get one more shot. Lloyd holds it and throws it back, and it's taken down by Davis with 16 seconds. And Tech now will look at the clock. They'll go for the final shot, leading by 7. Davis. Got it. And it's halftime. And with that basket, Tech takes the largest lead of the half to the locker room. At the intermission, it's Texas Tech 41, Rice 32. We'll be back with halftime in a moment.
Of all the fine German engineering in a new Volkswagen, there's one advance not found on any other car. A device small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, but big enough to change the next 10 years of your life. It's a warranty, the longest limited powertrain warranty in the world. One part of Volkswagen Protection Plus. It's sort of like having headlights that see all the way into the future. Volkswagen, the most loved and protected cars in the world.
With full confidence, I submit to you an affordable economic package.
Senator, this will cost only $10.99.
$10.99.
That man's an idiot.
I'll say it again.
Somebody call security.
$10.99.
What could anyone possibly get for $10.99?
I'll give you my boy.
Bigfoot Pizza from Pizza Hut with that special crust delivered for only $10.99.
Hey, Dad, who's going to sponsor this bill?
Bigfoot Pizza, a legendary value.
The shape of Bugles? A dazzling sight. But the taste of Bugles, lip-smacking delight. Bugles, it's the taste that's a blast.
Wouldn't you like to make a rich, sumptuous triple fudge brownie cake like you've never tasted?
Go ahead, it's easy.
Brand new from Betty. Easy, delicious desserts. Mix with a fork, bake, and serve.
Betty's got it.
Southwest Conference basketball on Raycom is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, by Ford and your local Ford dealers, and by Miller Lite.
What's the difference between Diet Dr. Pepper and regular Dr. Pepper? Can't see the difference. Can't hear it. The amazing thing is you probably can't taste the difference either. Discover what millions already have. The great taste of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Tylenol? For fever and things, it's great, sure. But headaches, my headaches, it's not always strong enough. So I went and got Excedrin. For that one reason. Excedrin's better than Tylenol at relieving headaches. That's enough of a reason for me. You use what works better, right? Tylenol for some things. But for headaches, Excedrin.
Excedrin, the headache medicine.
There's almost as many kinds of cars as kinds of people. And when those cars need batteries, those people come to Sears, America's #1 battery store. We carry a full line of batteries for every vehicle and every budget. From our Sears 45, guaranteed for nearly 4 years for $29.99, to the Die Hard with 3 emergency jump starts. One battery isn't going to work for everybody, so we make sure we have the one that works for you. Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
Amy Jones had just bought her instant lottery ticket when...
I don't know how to play.
Don't worry. Scratchman is here. You take your coin of preference and simply scratch it back and forth like this. Or, if you like me...
Play 3 across Texas for 3 chances to win up to $5,000.
Like this?
Sure.
Scratchman, in pursuit of instant winners.
The average ice cube can't taste the difference between Diet Dr. Pepper and regular Dr. Pepper. But the amazing thing is, you probably can't either. Discover what millions already have. The great taste of Diet Dr. Pepper.
Many people assume that Texas Tech has strong programs in technology. We do. Our faculty are known worldwide for their work in lasers, disaster research, and computers. But Texas Tech is also the Health Sciences Center, improving medical care in West Texas. And Texas Tech is law and business and agriculture and more than 150 other fields from the arts to zoology. At Texas Tech, our horizons are unlimited.
Welcome back to Lubbock, where the Texas Tech Red Raiders are making the home fans happy, leading the Rice Owls by a 41-32 halftime score. Greg Lucas here along with Reed Geddes. And Tech offensively, 41 points is a fine first half, but I got to talk a little bit about their defense because they have kept Torrey Andrews in check. He's only got 4 points in the first half. He's coming off a 37-point game.
Yeah, that's right, and he's also the second leading scorer in the Southwest Conference. They've done a phenomenal job of taking Rice out of what they want to do. They're not letting them get the ball on the wings when they break out. They're denying, and then also they're doing a wonderful job of fronting the post and then coming in with the weak side help, and they've really stymied Rice, and I'm sure Willis Wilson's back there thinking about what adjustments need to be made.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Texas Tech has also gotten their offense going. They're running up and down the court, and when they run up and down the court, you can have some spectacular plays.
Yeah, you sure can. Texas Tech has done a wonderful job of adding athleticism to their team, and this is a feature that they haven't had here in a long, long time, and it's led by Lance Hughes and also by Darvin Ham. Watch the great steal here by Mark Davis, and then the presence of mind just to throw it out there for a Ham dunk, and Darvin Ham can really explode up off the ground.
They are happy here at halftime. We'll see what happens in the second half. 41-32, the intermission lead for Texas Tech over Rice.
Deep in the heart of Texas, and adored by lovers of the Old West, is Fort Worth, a city that not only has its own stock market, but is also a major financial center, because it's one of the 1,900 communities served by Nations Bank, letting Justin Industries keep in step with the latest ideas in investment banking, giving families like the Trevinos a fresh start, and offering a range of resources that keeps people in Fort Worth from having to play second fiddle to anyone.
Quick & Rally is one of the largest discount brokerages in the United States.
The telephone's the lifeblood of our business. The market moves at a moment's notice. When we have a client that wants to place an order, they don't want to get a busy signal. We're not there when they want to do business. You know, they'll go elsewhere.
Using percentage allocation with our 800 service, we're able to divert calls during peak demand from branch to branch throughout their network. The customers are not disrupted by getting busy signals or long hold times.
Companies like Quick & Rally switch to MCI. That's proof positive.
We want to watch the dog show.
Okay, we can watch both.
Sunday! Miller Lite presents the Wiener Dog Winter Nationals! It's Muffy versus Dogzilla. And here they come, Bob. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. And Muffy takes it. That's one fast Wiener Dog! Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
This is good beer.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
After graduation, I want to be governor of Texas.
Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Colorado. Well, 5 out of 6 isn't bad. At the schools of the Southwest Conference, higher education turns dreams into reality.
March Madness returns to Dallas March 9th through the 12th at the Dr. Pepper Southwest Conference Classic and Hoopla Festival. See the best of the SWC as all 8 men's and women's teams battle for the 1994 championship title. And backed by popular demand is the Hoopla Festival, featuring live entertainment, food, games, and lots of fun. Stake your claim now to the best seats in the house by calling the SWC ticket hotline, 1-800-800-7928. Don't miss the Hoopla in Dallas at the Dr. Pepper Southwest Conference Classic.
And now let's check out the week in Southwest Conference women's basketball on the Volkswagen Women's Halftime Report. Texas Tech's top 10 women's basketball team dropped a squeaker to Texas, but they did have a recent win over the Houston Cougars and are 15-2. Houston has been rebuilding this year, running at 6-9 after a good run of solid seasons. By the time the year is over, Coach Jesse Kenlaw hopes the process of rebuilding will be well underway. Meanwhile, last year's national champs, led by junior college transfer Connie Robinson, continue to roll. Let us take a look now at the field goal percentage leaders in the women's play of Southwest Conference basketball. Micah Atkins of Tech is on top, but by a narrow margin over Martha McClellan of A&M, followed by Connie Robinson, Carrie Delaney, Brenda Conaway, Pat Lucky, and Leslie Frazier. The standings show the undefeated Aggies on top, followed by Texas and Texas Tech. Then comes Rice, Baylor, SMU, Houston, and TCU. In women's play this weekend, Houston is at Texas. That game underway as we speak. Meanwhile, at 5 o'clock, Baylor will be at Oral Roberts in non-conference play, followed by night action at SMU with A&M and Texas Tech at Rice. We'll return after these messages from your local station. This is the Raycom Network.
This is Berry Berry Kicks, a different kind of kids cereal.
Mom, could we get that, please?
And you know what they'll do to get a kid's cereal.
I'll wash your car.
It's got a crisp corn crunch,
Okay, I'll never touch the stereo again.
natural fruit flavors, real fruit juice, and less sugar than most kid cereals. So when your kids say,
Please?
you'll gladly say, okay. Berry Berry Kicks.
Glad I asked.
This is a high school news update from KBVO.
Hello from the Austin Nature Center, I'm Jerry White. Well, you studied in school and you might have seen the hit movie Jurassic Park, but now you can see them live and in person right here in Austin, Texas. The Austin Nature Center has a collection of 17 lifelike, moving, and roaring dinosaurs. Now you can see this dinosaur invasion from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Austin Nature Center in Zilker Park. Stay tuned for more news later on KBVO Fox 42.
When your life is on the line,
they're gonna keep coming at you no matter where you go.
What am I gonna do?
you need more than a bodyguard.
The man we got is here.
You need Harper.
This fool's crazy. How about that?
You'll never survive.
It's payback time.
Cool.
Because no matter what kind of trouble you're in,
Great. Everybody has guns.
this is the guy who can get you out. Jack Scalia is the point man.
It's at the Saturday Night Drive-In tonight at 10.
It's on Fox 42.
Texas Tech with a 41-32 lead over the Rice Owls at the half. Rice coming in 3-1 in conference play, and Tech 2-2. Here now is the Dr. Pepper Roundup of today's Southwest Conference action. Later on, it'll be Texas at Houston. That'll start at about 4 o'clock. Then at 7:30, Baylor will be at Oral Roberts in non-conference play. Tuesday, Rice will play Texas. Then next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, TCU will host these Texas Tech Red Raiders. 7:30 that day, Texas A&M at Baylor, Houston at University of Texas San Antonio, and SMU at Oklahoma. On the scoreboard today, final earlier, A&M was a winner over SMU 69-60 in a closely contested game most of the way. Final score, Southern Mississippi over Virginia Tech by 9. It was Purdue squeezing by Minnesota by 3. Elsewhere around the nation, Duke a winner over Maryland by 13. Kansas 87-53 over Colorado, and early in the first half, it's 34-30, Michigan leading Wisconsin. We'll be back with more from the second half in just a moment.
There's no stealing the thunder. No, can't be contained. You fill me with wonder and cool me off like rain. You're the part of me that's the heart of me. Without you, I'm just a lonely melody. But together we are harmony. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
Quick & Rally is one of the largest discount brokerages in the United States.
The telephone's the lifeblood of our business. The market moves at a moment's notice. When we have a client that wants to place an order, they don't want to get a busy signal. If we're not there when they want to do business, they'll go elsewhere.
Using percentage allocation with our 800 service, we're able to divert calls during peak demand from branch to branch throughout their network. The customers are not disrupted by getting busy signals or long hold times.
Companies like Quick & Rally switch to MCI. That's proof positive.
And now it's time for the MCI Proof Positive Play of the Week. Tex is hosting Texas Tech. And off the rebound, it's B.J. Tyler passing the ball to Tremaine Wingfield for the jam. Texas beats Tech 108-79 in Austin, and Wingfield scores 14 points, supplying the Southwest Conference with the MCI Proof Positive Play of the Week.
Something wild is happening to men's grooming. Now, the Gillette series of high-performance personal care products comes in an invigorating new scent. Wild Rain, the newest fragrance of the Gillette series.
Southwest Conference basketball on Raycom is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottlers. By Schick. And by Sears. Here are the Dr. Pepper halftime statistics in this 41-32 Texas Tech lead. One thing that stands out is shooting, particularly for Tech.
Yeah, unbelievable. 62% from the floor, 100% from the free throw line, and they're also shooting 60% from the three-point shooting. And when you run into a team that's shooting the ball like that, all you can hope to do is just stay close till they slow down a little bit.
The turnovers are even. The rebounds are virtually even. But Rice's bench has done a better job. But you figured that Tech actually neither team go real deep. You pointed out that the bench was going to have to score a little bit for Rice. But right now, Wilson's going to have to figure out a way to cool off the Red Raiders. That's the most important thing. The scorers, the leaders for Rice, Adam Peaks with 8, Hines with 7. Two players have 4. On the other side, for the Texas Tech Red Raiders of James Dickey, it's sort of been one man, Jason Sasser. He is way in front in the scoring column with 18, but Darvin Ham's chipped in 8, 7 for Hughes, and two players with 3 each. Second half just getting underway. Texas Tech with the basketball. And Sasser can't handle the ball. It'll be Rice getting it right off the bat.
What's even more impressive about Jason Sasser's first half is that Torrey Andrews was guarding him the whole time. And last year, Torrey Andrews was a unanimous pick on the Southwest Conference All-Defensive Team.
Well, the Rice Owls make an adjustment. They say, we're going to try a little backdoor stuff. They're going to play us this tight. It pays off early. As the first 2 points of the half go to Peaks.
You're exactly right, and that's a great halftime adjustment because that's exactly what you do when you get over-pressured on the wing. You set them up, you make a little pump fake like you're going to throw it to them out there, and then you cut back door hard.
Rabbit picks up the foul. First team foul. Second on Rabbit. Tech inbounds. Coy Smith looks to Hughes. When Hughes leaps to jump and shoot a jump shot, you don't block it. You can't get up that high.
Yeah, he really does a good job of, you know, there are a lot of guys that jump well, but your point is well made in that he utilizes his jumping ability to where he shoots a shot up at the peak of his jump.
Rabbit tries to sneak it into Shuttlecotty over Sasser. Blocked by Ham. Well, that isn't a Ham dunk. That's a Ham slam, maybe.
A Ham slam.
He slammed that one away from the shooter.
Todd Shuttlecotty had no idea that Darvin Ham was anywhere near there. He was looking down at the ball in the dribble. And what coaches want you to do is take that dribble, but take it as a power dribble going to the basket, not just a little whiffy dribble.
Peaks has missed. Shuttlecotty can't handle the rebound, but here comes the athletes from Texas Tech. Sasser on the wing. Overtime on the jump, and the foul is good. Coy Smith. He's got 5. He's averaging 11.4, and it's an 11-point lead, the largest of the day. Shuttlecotty blocked from the side. Davis with the block. Here come the running Red Raiders. Davis off the glass. Shuttlecotty can't handle the rebound. Knocked it out. It will be held on that end of the court.
Yeah, and Willis Wilson's asking for an early timeout, and I think that's a good idea because they're really struggling with what they're trying to accomplish down here on the offensive end.
We'll take a break and return with Tech leading by 11 in the second half.
You fill me with wonder. You're simple as can be. You're always a comfort. You set my spirit free.
People don't really understand the idea that shaped it. It contains platinum, rhodium, and newly formed materials. It's shielded with a dry powder that was melted to a virtually impermeable finish. It's deeply concerned with our planet's environment, and no one has ever seen anything quite like it.
Tonight, a robbery suspect attempts a daring escape by climbing across high power lines.
Don't touch those wires, John. Don't grab those.
On Primetime Cops. Then, the show that's helped capture 288 dangerous fugitives moves to Saturday night, America's Most Wanted.
It's a damn good show. I mean, it caught me.
This week, after 5 years on the run, one of the FBI's 10 most wanted may finally be brought to justice. America's Most Wanted. It all happens tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central.
Raider fans happy with this score, 45-34 with 18 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the half. And the question, I guess, is how is a team that has looked so good in this game lost 8 times, Reed?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the fact that Mark Davis and Darvin Ham are junior college players, and people think JUCO stars are going to come up to Division I level and be stars, and they're not. There's a huge adjustment period, and they're just now clicking.
They have really been playing well, and this particular time, the Rice Owls do the job with a steal takeaway. And there's a kick into the lineup, by the way, on that timeout. Eric Singletary for Rice and Scott Oliver, both freshmen.
And Scott Oliver really gave Willis Wilson some great minutes the other day against A&M. He's a big kid, 6'9", about 230, and plays hard from Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Dad's on the faculty at the University of Arkansas. His brother's a football player. You see him working the high post, looking for someone to get rid of the ball to. Singletary. Oliver now on that high post again. Back to Singletary. Ball deflected. Here comes Tech. Coy Smith. Hughes for 3. Back rims it. Great spring in the legs for Jason Sasser to get that rebound out to Davis. Coy Smith to Sasser, hardly blocked, and on the rebound, they whistle.
And a beautiful pass by Coy Smith. Coy Smith had an open three-pointer, but he saw Sasser at the last minute, and a good job of Sasser of keeping his eye on the ball, because a lot of times a player will turn around and look for the rebound when the shot wasn't taken in the first place.
Adam Peaks is called for the foul, his second, team foul 2. Into the lineup for Rice will be Robert Glaze. 6'8", 220-pounder from Detroit is Willis Wilson trying to get more beef, more power, more board work. See if he can get something from Robert as Andrews takes a rest. And instead, a quick foul is whistled.
Super inbounds pass by Coy Smith. What happens so often on an out-of-bounds play underneath the basket? The defensive team is so content on trying to decide what little patterns and what little cuts the players are going to make that they don't keep their eye on the ball. And just then the Rice player had the back of his head to the ball, and they just threw a straight bounce pass with nobody moving and nobody doing anything to Jason Sasser.
Sasser at the line. He had all 4 of his shots in the first half from the free throw line. About a 72% free throw shooter for the year.
James Dickey calls this kid the ultimate warrior. He told me that, and I thought about it. I said, man, that's a heck of a compliment for a coach to give you. I'd have loved for a coach to call me the ultimate warrior.
You may very well be looking at a preview of our Dr. Pepper player of the game. We're going to name one at the end of the game. Stay with us with those numbers like Jason has had. Let's say he's got a leg up. Lloyd will be coming into the game now. 47-34.
I look for Rice pretty soon to do something different defensively. I think they're going to need to go to some type of full court press or half court trapping just to change the momentum and the whole feel of the game.
Oliver has to track it down outside. Off the screen is Peaks. Peaks stop pop jumper. Had to change the trajectory because Lloyd was there. He gets the rebound. Here's Davis. And there you see Coy Smith.
Well, I tell you what, we said it all afternoon long. This Texas Tech Red Raider team is absolutely loaded with athletes.
The lead is 15. Oliver tries to work the point over Lloyd, and Lloyd does run for the foul.
Watch this great job of running a 2-on-1 fast break. Well, watch it all the way through. And what you want to do is, if you're handling the ball, you want to handle it until the defensive player makes you commit. And then did you see what a great job Mark Davis did of after he passed the ball, he fanned out. And so often kids will make the pass and keep on running because they're so excited, and that'll allow the defensive player a chance to draw a foul. So that was an absolutely textbook perfect 2-on-1 fast break.
Oliver gets on the points with his first free throw of his freshman year. He was 0 for 3 coming into this game. And he puts them both home. It's 49-36. Texas Tech. Rice has led by only 2 points about 3 different times in the first half. The game's been tied 5 times, but Tech has taken charge and now leads it by 13. Almost taken away again. Sasser steals it. Davis has it knocked loose by Singletary, and it's going to be a 2-shot foul. Singletary getting the whistle.
And that's a good foul by Eric Singletary, that he got down there and he was able to foul him before they went up and got another slam dunk.
Well, I thought I saw 2 fingers in the air. Yeah, there it is. Davis will be at the line. Davis will shoot 2. Davis only a 57% foul shooter. From Thibodaux, Louisiana, 6'7", 215. He's one of those junior college transfers Reed was talking about. He'll get one more.
You know what's amazing about this guy? Mark Davis right now in the Southwest Conference is ninth in scoring, 4th in field goal percentage, 9th in rebounding, 7th in assists, 4th in block shots. And James Dickey told me yesterday with a straight face that he's really having a hard time adjusting to Division I basketball. Said he hadn't even scratched the surface of what his abilities are going to allow him to do.
He made the all-college tournament team, 25 points against Eastern Kentucky with 7 dunks in one game. So he's had some great moments, and he's averaging almost 17 a game, 16 points plus.
And just think when he adjusts.
Yeah, here's Oliver, and Oliver hits a 2. His toes were on the line. Big guy.
Hey, I really like that big freshman. He does a lot of good things out there on the floor.
Hughes rolls it through. Lance Hughes in double figures now. That keeps his stretch going. He has been in double figures now every game this year. He has 11. It is 52-38. Oliver. Oh, yeah, there he is again.
Yeah, he's really got a lot of tools. He plays hard, he practices hard, and has a good attitude. And that's going to be a player that's going to have big impact on this Rice program in the years to come.
Oliver was closing down a passing gap, and Lloyd was distracted, couldn't handle the pass. He'll leave the lineup, and Ham is back in for Texas Tech. It is 52-40, 15 minutes and 41 seconds to play. Now, one factor that I think has to be tossed into the mix here is that the Tech Raiders have not gone much to the bench, and so they have a big lead, but it's hard to hold on to a big lead as the game wears on if your opponent is a little more rested. Tynes goes to the baseline, and it's 52-42. Sasser, who had 18 points in the first half, has 2 free throws in the second. Hughes to the baseline, has to give it up to Davis. Smith for 3. Oh,
until that shot, Troy Smith was one of his last 11 three-pointers, and he pulled up from a big-time NBA three-pointer.
55-42 gets that lead back up to 13. A lob to Oliver. Couldn't control the shot that time. Still going for the rebound. Picked up by Tynes. Loses control. He's fouled. That's why. And the whistle is on Davis. That's 3 on Davis.
You know, you were talking about depth and playing a lot of minutes. Well, one of the reasons that James Dickey calls Jason Sasser his ultimate warrior is the kid's playing about 35 or 36 minutes every game. So he's well conditioned, and I don't think fatigue's going to be a factor with him.
Tynes will shoot a pair. He has not shot these well either. He's really had a bad year. 55.9 coming into this game. He's now 1 for 3. And last year, he didn't shoot them all that well either. Really, he's never been a great free throw shooter. 56%.
But I tell you what, over the last 2 years, he has really developed into a great basketball player. In the Southwest Conference alone, he's averaging about 17 points a game and 11 rebounds and shooting 52% from the field. So he's doing a lot of good things for Willis Wilson.
Tech now trying to read the defense, get an open man spreading the court.
And Rice going to a 2-3 zone.
Bobble, picked up, saved.
Darvin Ham's really doing a good job of getting position down there. I look for him to drop it down to him in one of those seams.
5 on the shot clock. This is going to be a little test for Smith, so he says, that's okay. He couldn't quite get it down. Now, it may not count. That may have been tapped on an over-the-back play. Let's see. No basket. Foul on Tech.
Oh, and James Dickey is furious. He's saying, give me that bucket. You got to give me the bucket.
Let's take a look at it.
Let's look at it again. And this is a tough, tough call to make, because if contact's made before the kid puts his hand on the ball, then that's a good call. If for some reason he can tap the ball and then bounces him, well, a tip only counts as a shot if it goes in. So since it went in, as soon as the ball's tipped, it counts as a shot.
Now, Davis, they're working it out the scores table to make sure who the foul was on. Now, wait a minute. 44 blue.
Oh, then
now
they've
they've
got to
called
count
on
that
Glaze.
basket.
Yeah, now
they've
called the foul on Glaze. Davis thought it was on him. Let's see if we can find Glaze. He's 44 in the blue.
Yeah, if he's over the back, so they're saying the foul's right there before the tip. I don't know, that's so close. How can you call it either way? But James Dickey's right in that if the foul is on the Rice player, then he's actually, a tip's only a shot if it goes in. So if he's going up for a tip and he gets fouled, that counts as a shot attempt. And so since he's already up in the air, the shot should count.
But it didn't. They're going to...
And that's an okay play right there. A lot of people think that's back court, but from down there out of bounds, you can throw it back down into the front court.
Hughes goes into the lane. He was bothered a bit. Now Rice comes up with a rebound. So the Owls lose a foul, but no point. Singletary with the basketball. Can't get it to roll down. Sasser with the rebound. He's in double figures in rebounds and points, and he was fouled trying to come out with it. Now you see one coach there, but believe me, the other coach is just as upset himself.
Yeah, he sure is. And that's a little bit of gamemanship. You know, Willis Wilson says, hey, look, James Dickey just put on quite a little tirade. Well, I'm going to show you that I'm not, you know, you're not going to walk over me also.
There, you've got to see him a little bit. Hughes dumps it down inside to Sasser. 55-43, Sasser missing a rebound. Oliver. Rice trying to play a little more physical on the boards to try to get themselves jump-started to overcome the athletic disadvantage. That's a goaltend, and Glaze gets the basket.
And that's a good call right there.
And it's a 10-point game. And so James Dickey says, let's not let this one get out of hand. Well, oh, wait, he wanted a timeout, but he didn't call it. Now he wants to call it.
Well, he's got 6 kids on the floor right now.
They better call it. Before they start counting.
Right.
We will be back. 13:31 to go in the game. 55-45. We'll be back after this from Miller Genuine Draft.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
It's where the careers of naval officers are launched, and where pleasure boaters come to cast away from it all. But Annapolis, Maryland is also a major financial center because it's served by Nations Bank, which enables coastal properties to call on a depth of experience in financing, offers the overstreets everything from equity loans to mutual funds, and gives people a bank that puts greater financial power at their command. In Annapolis and in 1,900 other communities throughout our nation.
It's 55-45. Texas Tech leading Rice with 13:31 to play.
Texas Texas Tech continues to really shoot the ball well. They're shooting 55% from the floor, 50% from three-point line, and 90% from the free throw line. So they haven't cooled off a whole not much at all since the first half.
They have 14 assists, and the reason I bring that up is because that's one reason your field goal percentage is high. They're getting the ball to the right man. That means the pass is leading directly to a basket, and they're not having to ad-lib and dribble around behind screens and duck and dive. They're getting, that's 28 points right there off assists. Here's Clayton. Clayton into the game on that timeout. 13 on the shot clock. Hughes dumps a pass inside and out of bounds off of the intended receiver, Sasser, and it will be Texas Tech giving it up.
And that play was made right there by Adam Peake's hustle to run out there and contest Lance Hughes' shot. He got out there and got his hand in it. So Lance didn't really want to pass that. He just couldn't get a shot off and tried to dump it down to somebody.
And nearing the 13-minute mark in the game, and it's 55-45. Rice has not been inside double figures for some time. Oliver out top. He's played well off the bench. They got a couple of big guys in there, Shuttlecotti and Oliver both, and now Andrews. Andrews has not been an offensive factor, and no whistle. That was one of those where one of them fouled, not sure which one. Sasser having trouble in the backcourt.
You know, if it's a situation where you don't know who fouled and you just saw bodies collide, I think it's great. And one of the improvements in the Southwest Conference officiating this year is that they won't blow their whistle. Last year, when in doubt, they blew their whistle. This year, if in doubt, they're keeping their whistles in their pocket.
Let them play. Davis with the basket. Mark Davis now with 5 points, and it's 57-45.
Rice really needs to start doing something different defensively. I don't know if they have a half-court press or a three-quarter court press, but they're going to need to start doing something different down on the other end.
Shuttlecotti trying to get inside and can't get the shot to fall. Goes right back outside to Peaks for three. Back rims it. No, and a rebound to Clayton. Ball kicked away, but it's an inadvertent kick, so it'll just be who touched it last is what it boils down to here. Cravens is going to come back into the Rice lineup, and Tynes will as well. Oliver is out, as you see James Dickey trying to make sure he's got his defensive players lined up. One of those also coming out will be Andrews. 11:54 to go in the game. Clayton. Davis. With the lead. Tech being patient, methodical. Davis short. Clayton with a rebound. They got a new shot clock. They don't care. Clayton goes in and charges. Here's the Schick game summary for today's game up to this point.
Yeah, the story is Texas Tech shooting. They've just absolutely been filling it up. And Jason Sasser, over the last 5 games, has been averaging 25 points and shooting 62%. And he's well on his way to matching those numbers.
Peaks with 10 points. Tynes inside. He's playing with 10, and Sasser was too close to him, and he picks up the foul. But Tech fans need not fear. That's only number 1 on Sasser. It's a shooting foul. Tynes will go to the line. Tynes has 10 points, and Peaks has 10 points. That the double figure scoring for Rice. The big story is that Tech has just kept Torrey Andrews out of the play. He's only scored 4.
One of Rice's staff gave me some interesting insight on Scott Tynes. They say personality-wise, he's a real introspective type kid, and said he's a 5th-year senior. So he said going to different places in the Southwest Conference as a 5th-year senior, it really means something to him. He's realizing that, hey, this is his last go-around. And so it's been special to him, and as a result of that, his numbers for Southwest Conference are almost double what they were for the preseason games.
57-46. Quick double team picks up Sasser, so he gives it up. Back to Sasser. Fouled. He'll be shooting here as he made a turn toward the basket. That was a good inside-outside play with Clayton, as he saw that every time the ball went back out to Clayton, Sasser was able to move down a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the guy that was guarding Guy Clayton was doubling down on him. So what Guy did is he just showed him the ball. Said, hey, I'm going to shoot this out here. And he's already hit 1 3-pointer today. So Rice has to respect that. And what that did was take the pressure off Jason so he could drop it right back down to him.
That was the first foul on Tynes. Sasser to shoot a pair. He has no field goals in the second half. 2 for 2 from the line. And he will add his point total. It's now up to 21 points here in the half.
It's unbelievable how quiet he gets in here when Jason Sasser goes to the free throw line.
I feel like I ought to be a tennis announcer and whisper. Sasser will get one more.
That guy up there moved. Could you ask him to sit down and be quiet?
It's 58-46 with 11 minutes and 6 seconds to go. This is the most in a single game. Well, Sasser's familiar visit to the free throw. Listen to me counting. He is telling the officials that he had too much time to shoot the free throw. I don't know if you picked that up as well as I heard it, but Willis Wilson was counting. He said he's taking too long. You only get 10 seconds. Sneaking inside his times.
That was real funny.
It's 58-48. And of course, with the crowd quiet, everybody could hear it. And certainly so could Lynn Shortmacy, who was the closest official. Sasser.
What do you want to bet he counts next time?
Off the screen is Hughes. Tried to change in midair, and Shuttlecotty with the rebound rolls it out. Here's Beeks, and Ham is bodying into the basket. The foul will be on Ham. That's 3 on Darwin. 58-48. Now, fouls, you know, you're down by 10 if you're Rice. That's a significant margin, but with plenty of time left, one more foul on Ham, one more on Davis, and it could be a factor. They both have 3.
And another factor for Rice that they need to be aware of is the fact that there's some guys for Texas Tech that aren't shooting the ball real well from the free throw line. And so pretty soon they need to start being a little more aggressive and going ahead and taking some fouls.
Rabbit looking for a play call. Clayton staying with him. Beeks. Tried again. Shuttlecotty not controlling the ball well. Has to give it up. Beeks over Sasser, rolls it out, times the rebound, and he puts it up and in. Tynes, who had 19 rebounds against Baylor, asserts himself, and it's an 8-point lead for Texas Tech.
That was a strong rebound by Scott Tynes. Uh-oh.
Davis, and he was fouled on the way to the hoop. Clayton made the pass. Davis made the play. Davis.
Over and over, coaches will tell you the best pass in basketball is back to the man that passed you. And a great job of Mark Davis at giving the ball up and then cutting to the basket and give it right back to him, and it's showtime.
Yeah, Peaks turned around and said, help. There wasn't any. Too late.
That's great basketball knowledge by Mark Davis. He recognized the fact that the Rice player was on his outside shoulder. And anytime you have a player on your outside shoulder, get rid of that ball and cut as hard as you can down the middle of the court.
60-50 with 9:50 to play. Texas Tech with the lead. Rabbit holding the ball, and Shortmacy saved it there for Tynes. Tynes runs it up from the right side. That's 2 points, and Lynn Shortmacy gets an assist. He was just in the right spot. The ball was going to go out of bounds.
And some fans yelled about that, but referees are part of the floor, and if they're out on the floor, then it's still in play. If he'd have been standing out of bounds, then it would have been a turnover.
60-52, Texas Tech. Sasser runs into traffic when he goes down, and so well, they learned the first half. Davis hangs it up from 8, contact on the follow, and he may have run right into the defense, and that will be number 4.
And what James Dickey's telling Mark Davis is that, hey, look, don't always go all the way through to the basket. I think of Tom Pender's Texas teams that do such a great job of when they get in the paint, coming to a jump stop and going up. And that's what James Dickey wants Mark Davis to do, and that it was a great penetration, but once you see paint, go up.
All right, Davis now playing with 4 fouls. And I believe they may be trying to go that direction. Tynes is the man they probably want to get the ball to as long as Davis has him, but they've switched off now.
Texas Tech's going to a 2-3 zone probably to protect him a little bit.
Ball knocked out of bounds, and it was knocked out by Tech. Does this crowd agree with that? Coming into the lineup now for Tech will be Coy Smith, and that will get Davis out of the lineup. It reduces the size a little bit. Davis at 6'7" and Smith 6'5".
Yeah, really a small lineup for Texas Tech right now. They're going 6'7", 6'7", then 6'5", and then 6'3", 6'3".
Almost got another official aid that time, but Tynes was able to track it down.
Big possession by Rice right now.
Peaks for 3, and he was squared up, but he couldn't get it to fall, and on the rebound, a pushing violation foul. And it looks like it's going to be White. That's 20. That's Ham, and now Ham would have 4.
But that was a good call. Torrey Andrews had good position and then just got shoved out underneath the basket. This might be something good for Torrey. Has he been to the free throw line today?
Not at all, and he usually shoots a lot of free throws. one thing I'm a little surprised, up to this point, they haven't really, now they had him out a little bit farther on the wing on the setup for that play, but a lot of times when he's had trouble getting the ball early in the game, they'll bring him outside for a while. He's so versatile. He hasn't been outside much.
Well, and I think a lot of credit of that goes to the scouting report and the game plan that Texas Tech had coming into this, and it was, hey, look, Torrey Andrews is not going to beat us. We're going to do everything we can do to keep the ball out of his hands, because once he gets the ball, he can do so many different things, and he's so versatile, and he passes well that you're beat once he touches it. So the way to play Torrey Andrews is just try not to let him catch it, which is what Tech's done so well.
But it's a 6-point game, even with him only scoring 6. So you got to give the Owls some credit in that regard. They are overcoming a major problem. But Texas Tech has the lead.
And here's a little half-court trap.
Hughes to the baseline. Oh, yes.
Well, that was a big bucket.
13 for Lance, and it's 62-54 with 8:18 to go.
And Tech back in their 2-3 zone.
Rabbit. There's Andrews. Now he is out on the court a little bit, giving himself a little bit of room to maneuver. And a bad pass intercepted by Clayton. You knew where that one was going, and Clayton misses the shot, but Rabbit ran under him, and he'll get called for the foul.
James Dickey right now is telling Guy Clayton, said, hey, look, Lance Hughes was right behind you. All you had to do is take one more dribble and then just leave it back there for him a little bit.
Craven's coming back into the Rice lineup for Andrews. A little mystified when he was given the nod that you're the guy. Clayton will be at the free throw line. His first free throw, actually only his second free throw of the year. He's 1 for 1.
This kid's got a great personality. And their media guy, they've got this little standard question they ask everybody. They say, if you were on a 2-on-1 fast break with Magic Johnson, what would you do? You know, most of them say, oh, I'd pass, oh, I'd enjoy it. Guy Clayton goes, hey, I'd stop and fire it up. He's 6'9", let him go rebound.
Exactly. That's a first free throw of the night for Clayton. It is a 63-54, 9-point Texas Tech lead. 7 minutes and 54 seconds left.
Texas Tech switching up their defense. They went man-to-man that time.
Cravens did everything to finish the play. He made a good move to get open, and then he left it on the crook of the rim. Sasser stops quickly and hits. 24 points for Jason. And it's 65-54, and just like that, Tech gets the lead back up. It was down to 6.
Scott Tynes is going to have a little bit of mismatch here. I think they ought to take advantage of this matchup right here with Guy Clayton on him.
Well, he's got the ball to the baseline. He's loose and hits. Just on cue. Tynes had a good second half now.
He's 6'7", and he's a great athlete and jumps well. And Guy Clayton, as a point guard, is just going to have his hands full with a power forward that's that athletic.
19 points in the game for Tynes, and 12 of them in this half. Ball knocked loose and picked up, and a foul. It will be on Peaks or Tynes. Tynes was on the backside. Peaks from our angle looked like the man that got him, and that's the man who was going to get the foul call.
Did you see that beautiful one-hand dribbling bounce pass that went the length of the half court by Coy Smith? That was a great job of Coy Smith. Everyone was scrambling for the ball out here at half court, and watch him look up, and then look how far he throws this ball off one hand on a bounce pass. That is a beautiful pass.
And Sasser will go to the free throw line, and that is the 10th team foul. So 2 shots the rest of the way for Texas Tech, which will make it tougher yet for Rice to climb back if Tech continues to hit free throws as they have in this game. 24 for Sasser. He has scored double figures on 23 games in a row.
And with this lineup on the floor right now, there's some pretty good free throw shooters, but Bernard Lloyd's only shot 3, but he hadn't made one yet. And generally a kid that size, when in doubt, go foul the big guy that hadn't made one yet this year.
One more for Sasser. His high 28 points in a game. That was against Baylor. He's getting close. He's up to 26. It is 67-56 Tech, 7:01 to play. We'll be right back after this message from our friends at Schick.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, you're changing the face of shaving.
It's time for friends to fly free on Southwest Airlines.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
And people are friendlier than ever. Just make reservations at least a day in advance and buy your round-trip ticket at Southwest's regular low unrestricted fare, and a friend flies with you, free, anywhere we fly.
Joe, Dad, what do you think?
Friends fly free on Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart.
It's the place to catch some of baseball's first pitches, and where people love to throw themselves into the game. But the town of Sarasota, Florida is also a major financial center because it's served by Nations Bank, which lets Albert and Fruit Company pick from the widest range of commercial services, gives families like the Piles greater investment options, and helps people keep all their bases covered in Sarasota and in 1,900 other communities throughout our nation.
This telecast is a copyrighted presentation of Rice University, Texas Tech University, the Southwest Conference, and Raycom Incorporated, and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or the use of the video or audio portions of this program without the prior written consent is prohibited. We are in Lubbock. The hometown Texas Tech Red Raiders with a 67-56 lead, 7 minutes to play in the ball game. And they continue to shoot extremely well, almost 57%. Shuttlecotty gives it up. Rabbit throws it away. And it will be touched, and it will be turned over. It was not deflected by Tech. That was Rabbit making a bad pass all the way, and so Tech gets the basketball.
The reason Scott Tynes was hustling after that ball, the officials got it right. He hustled down and caught it before it got down to the baseline, because now Tech has the ball out on the sideline as opposed to standing underneath the basket.
Hughes dumps it down inside the session. You also have to be sure you're going to do it, because otherwise, remember, on the other team, you can just come down, pick it up, and lay it in. And if you just get all frustrated, go, it's over and back, we lose the ball. Well, you better pick it up. Personal foul. We'll get to see Sasser. We'll get to see more free throws from Mr. Sasser. That is foul number 3 on time.
A lot of credit out here in Lubbock land needs to go to James Dickey and his staff of Robert Brashear and Greg Pickney and Doc Sadler. They have done a phenomenal job of recruiting and totally changing the whole face of Texas Tech basketball. And they didn't just change a little bit. I can't ever remember a Texas Tech team having this much athleticism. And James Dickey has been a success everywhere he's been.
And he's doing it with the right priorities. I mean, he truly is concerned about guys getting educations and graduating, and he's been able to mix them both. We've seen the athleticism of his players, and of course, you got to say the same thing about Rice. Sometimes we overlook that because we take it for granted, but obviously Rice has a very heady club. I think their grade point average of their starting 5 is over 3. So we're talking about two teams not only can play basketball, but know what college is all about.
I know some starting 5s that don't add up to 3.
69-56 is the score. 6 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. Tynes for a 3. Back rims it. Nice rebound inside, and McGee can't get it to fall. Rabbit will try a 3, and that one won't go. Some chances, and finally Shuttlecotty can't handle it. It's off his hands, out of bounds. Other point we want to make about Tech is that not only are they obviously playing very well today, but they're young. There are no seniors on this team. You'll see these people, and I think if they had a point guard maybe, and a little more bench depth, which I'm sure they'll have next year, they're going to be somebody to watch.
They really had the carpet yanked out from under them. Lenny Holly, a sophomore, was slated in to be the starting point guard, and the day of school, he decides he's not happy and he wants to go home. The coach was like, we're sorry to leave you, but we don't want anyone that doesn't want to be here. But on top of that, don't wait till now to tell us. We're crying out loud.
Right. You can't get a replacement. Let's take a look now at the...
There's one of the banners that James Dickey's had a part of hanging here, and he's hung a lot of banners and gotten a lot of rings. But I want to read a quote from a letter he shared with me, and this is a letter from Brian Moore to James Dickey. And it says, Coach, last week I received my diploma. It was one of the proudest, happiest days of my life. people are amazed by the fact now that I say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to people. I've learned the importance of demeanor and courtesy, and now I'm prepared to deal with people in a professional manner.
And I'll tell you what, that coach is very, very proud of that letter, probably about as much as that banner.
Hey, I tell you what, you can hang that up there, and that's why both these men, that's why Willis Wilson, James Dickey are in this profession. And I think that college athletics get so much negative coverage sometimes that you look past the good stories about that. And the story actually even gets better. Bryant Moore's mother passed away, and in her will, she said that Bryant Moore could have custody of his little brother only if he got a college degree.
Wow. Well, that's what teams in the Southwest Conference, and these two we're talking about particularly, are trying to do. Well-rounded athletes who can play and make the grade. Basket will count, but the foul will be on time.
Great job of weak side defense. Look at that. Actually, 3 Red Raiders came over to try to set up for that and take that charge.
Hey, you see exactly why it was called, and that was a correct call. He had let go of the ball, so the ball is on the way, and then his body momentum carried him in for the charge. So the basket counts, and now Hughes will go down and shoot a couple of free throws. That's 4 fouls on Tynes. He has 21 points. He has been the offense for Rice. Only one other player in double figures. That's Peak with 10. Hughes now is up to 15 points.
I was talking about that creative media guy that Texas Tech had. One of the questions was, what do you want to be doing in 10 years? And Lance Hughes said, oh, kind of the same stuff I'm doing now.
Hey, Lance Hughes. Now, Lance Hughes, he's got some thoughts in his little bio, and that's one of them. There's the top of the circle shot. That's right there by McGee.
A big three-pointer for Rice.
Tommy McGee, 71-61.
And Rice has done a great job of staying in striking distance. Texas Tech continues to shoot the ball well, and here Rice is only down by 5 buckets. They've done a great job of hanging around, but now they need to turn the corner.
They almost got the turnover, but instead the ball kicked out of bounds, and Davis will come back into left. Now he's playing with 4 fouls, and Shuttlecotty will come back into the game for Rice. And Tynes will come out because he's playing with 4, and he could probably use a rest anyway, although they're going to have to find someone else to score. He has 21 points and 14 in this half. Davis working the ball out back. And that's not unusual. Davis 6'7". They consider him as much as anything their point guard, although of course with that offense he'll move anywhere. Sasser inside the basket and the foul, and he will go to the free throw line.
Well, I tell you what, you talk about executing the offense exactly the way it wants to be executed. Great job of not losing their poise. And Jason Sasser, watch what a great job. The reason this worked is he curls off that screen. You see how tight he came off of that double screen? So automatically, Adam Peaks, when you're in that position, you have to trail him over there. And what happens in that is whoever set that screen is the one that should have stepped out and bumped Jason Sasser as he ran by. Adam Peaks needed some help coming over that screen.
What happened was the 4th foul for Adam Peaks. And Sasser can't complete the 3-point play. Well, he's missed the last couple in a row, but he has scored 29 points, which is a new high. Tynes, nice move.
Beautiful move.
23 now for Scott. It's still a 10-point game. 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
And that 23 ties a career high for Scott Tynes. Good pass.
Oh. Well, he wanted to jam it, but he had to be satisfied with you rolling it over. Lance Hughes.
Hey, you got to be kidding me. A half-court alley-oop to your off guard.
75-63. Tynes 3. Back rims it. Davis with the rebound is sort of back-checked and fouled by 1 or 2. I think Rabbit's the man who's going to get the call.
This is a tough pass to throw from the half-court line. And what you want to do, it's a beautiful pass. What you tell your guys throwing the pass to look at is look at the rim. Don't look at the player and don't look at the basket. You want to throw that ball as close to the rim as you can. And then so even if your pass is off a little bit, hopefully your teammate's going to be in a position to be able to catch it. But that pass wasn't off even 1 iota.
Or if it's off a long way, you might hit it. Here's Davis.
That's right. You might pass so bad for a 3-pointer.
That's right. Davis will get one more. Now, Tech fans a little nervous because they've started to miss some free throws here.
Yeah, and Mark Davis is really struggling from the free throw line. In the Southwest Conference, he's shooting 20% from the line.
76-63, though. The lead pumped right back up to 13 as they will never let Rice get close enough to make it a serious threat. As the Texas Tech Red Raiders have been in command all day. 4 minutes to play. Looking for Andrews, and just bottled up there. They're fronting him, and then as soon as the ball goes that way, they triple. McGee back to Andrews, but even then there was no place to go with the pass. A travel is called on Sasser. There were a couple people holding on to the ball at the same time, moving their feet.
You hit that exactly right. Texas Tech, as far as team defense, is doing a phenomenal job of bottling up Torrey Andrews.
We'll be back with more. 3:49 to go in the game. It is 76-63.
People don't really understand the idea that shaped it. It contains platinum, rhodium, and newly formed materials. It's shielded with a dry powder that was melted to a virtually impermeable finish. It's deeply concerned with our planet's environment, and no one has ever seen anything quite like it.
There's almost as many kinds of cars as kinds of people. And when those cars need batteries, those people come to Sears, America's #1 battery store. We carry a full line of batteries for every vehicle and every budget. From our Sears 45, guaranteed for nearly 4 years for $29.99, to the Die Hard with free emergency jump starts. One battery isn't going to work for everybody, so we make sure we have the one that works for you. Sears Tire and Auto Center. We're driven to satisfy.
We're a part of the future. We're the heart and the soul. You're a part of me. That's the heart of me. Without you, I'm just a lonely melody. But together we are harmony. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
Here's the Pizza Hut delivery of the game.
Not only did Mark Davis realize he had Adam Peaks on his back, but watch Adam's face. He immediately looks for help. He goes, look, who's going to help me? And the answer was, nobody.
That's it, and it was delivered by Mark Davis. The Pizza Hut delivery of the game. It is a 76-63 lead, 13 points for Tech. Rabbit.
Look for Rice when they go on the defensive end. They're going to have to go to some type of full court pressure or half court pressure. Down by 13 with 3 minutes to go. They've got to change what they're doing defensively.
Beeks tries to move in, finds Andrews, and look at that. That's going to be a travel. Andrews, that's one of his better moves, which gets him into position. He leans back on the defender, and if the defender gives any ground, he will travel.
Yeah, and what that is, that was just frustration. Torrey just wanted a bucket so bad. And here's the full court pressure.
But this is why when you play 5 guys on all positions, you can beat it sometimes, although Sasser didn't exactly handle that well once he got it beaten. There's Peaks. McGee. Rice has had a few threes, which would have gotten him right back into the game here in the second half, but they haven't been able to get him to fall. They have not hit a three in the second half, but they've hit one. McGee hit one. It is 76-63. Safety valve, back out to time.
Tech in a 2-3 zone. Look for Adam Peaks to find a little soft spot over there.
Rabbit dumps it off. There's McGee again with a three. That one bobbles in and goes down. So his second three.
That's a second big three-pointer that Tommy McGee's given Rice off the bench.
Back down to 10, and a little bit of holding on the inbound play. Let's remind you that, of course, more Raycom Southwest Conference basketball next week. First game will be that big inter-city battle or same-city battle between the Houston Cougars and the Rice Owls. That'll be at noon Central Standard Time. The second ball game will be right back here in the Lubbock Coliseum as the Aggies, the #1 team in the league, take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. That'll be interesting as well, the way the Aggies are playing and certainly the way the Raiders have looked. It's the 2 o'clock game on Raycom. Hughes at the free throw line.
And I'm really looking forward to that first game. I'm going to be working the Rice U of H game, and anytime those two teams get together, it's really a lot of fun.
Well, I'm going to camp out here in Lubbock and get to see the #1 team in the standings, Texas A&M, 77-66. Peaks on the circle. That's a tough shot, although he hit it the other night. Rebound inside. outside. Strong times. 25 for Scott.
Strong is exactly right. That was a huge offensive rebound.
It is a 9-point game, but again, another holding foul. Rice is pressing, but the officials are watching if there's any body contact. McGee gets the foul call.
Boy, Willis is really going hot. He is really upset.
He's very close to a technical. He came very close there. His argument was that the man, he's real close.
Yeah, he is. He's real close.
Extremely close. Hughes at the free throw line. And he hits the free throw.
What he's complaining about is he feels like Lance Hughes twice down there that he's been hooking the Rice player's arm underneath him. So it looks like the Rice player's pulling him, but really the Rice player can't get away from him.
Hughes gets both free throws, and it's, yep, here it is, I think. Yep, he just called it. Technical foul. It's on the coach. It is 79 to 68, and Hughes will go back and shoot the technicals.
You know, lots of time in this situation, the kids on the bench or the kids out on the floor say, hey, look, you know, our coach hadn't given up, he's mad, and that a lot of times it has the effect that it fires the kids up and it gives them some motivation to come back.
Well, we'll take a look at the play we think that he was arguing against, and he said it wasn't the first time in his way of thinking.
And it was after the break. Now watch, see if we can see Lance Hughes, see if he pulls the Rice's player. See how he has his arm hooked right there? That's what Willis is upset about, that Lance Hughes is the one that initiated that contact, and I think he's got a pretty good reason to be upset.
Sasser with the basketball. It's 81-68. Ham down low. Davis doesn't take it. They'll back it out and use all that shot clock. Well, no, they won't. Corey Smith says that's enough. Ham with a tap. Nope. And a travel. It will go to Rice. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play.
You know, the flip side of that is that's kind of a veteran move by Lance Hughes.
Yes.
Kind of a sneaky little play.
Rice with the basketball with 1:59. Peaks can't take the three, runs through traffic, rolls it up. Nope. Contact on the rebound. Here comes Tech coming back down court. Loop pass off to Hughes, and he will not jam it. No, he will not jam it. Rabbit fouled him. That's the 5th for Kevin Rabbit.
And the Tech fan wanted an intentional foul there. Yeah, I think that's a good call. It was a hard foul, and he did a good job of not letting him get the ball up past his waist so he can get it up there on the rim. But Lance is going to shoot 2 because they're over the 10 anyway.
And he has scored 22 points himself. That is his average against the Rice Owls in his career. Exactly 22 points in the 4 previous games, and now what we got here.
Well, the Rice they haven't made their substitution yet. They have, I think, 30 or 45 seconds to make their substitution, and they haven't yet. And the referees were going to go ahead and start the action.
And he said you got less than 10 to get him in. It will be Singletary.
You know what? Lance Hughes' 22 points have really been quiet. It's surprising. I don't know how you can get a quiet 22.
Well, here in the second half, he shot a lot of free throws. They're not very spectacular, but that's one of the reasons. But you're right. He spread them out. First half, he had just 7.
And has done a little bit of everything. Shot free throws well, hit a couple of three-pointers in the first half, and has hit a couple of big driving baskets here late in the second half that have really been, could prove to be backbreakers.
Hughes will have one more. And he pops them both in. 83-68, back up to a 15-point lead, and that's as much as Texas Tech has led all game. So Peaks goes baseline. Nice athletic move to try to slide by Sasser, and Sasser called for the foul.
That's exactly right. Jason Sasser was in perfect position. And when Peaks jumped up, I said, you know, there's no way he's just going to plow over Sasser. And he was able to turn his body and give that ball a chance to go in. Adam Peaks is a good athlete. He's a good all-around athlete, too. In high school, he was an all-state golfer.
He'll be back. You know, we talked about Texas Tech with no seniors. Rice has some seniors, but they've also got some players that are young and will be back. Now, Peaks has just one more year. And Andrews, of course, is gone. We mentioned some of the other players that are gone. Rabbit will be back. Igo will be back. They've got some good young players. Willis Wilson, like James Dickey's building a program as opposed to a team over a one-year period.
Yeah, I don't know if Willis has a fan club back in Houston, but if they do, they need to contact me because I want to be a part of it. He's been a part of Rice program when they never won, when they were surprised to win, to now they expect to win. Every time these kids walk on the floor, they expect to win, and it hadn't always been that way at Rice.
It doesn't look like today, though. 83-69 Tech with a minute 41.
People don't really understand the idea that shaped it. It contains platinum, rhodium, and newly formed materials. It's shielded with a dry powder that was melted to a virtually impermeable finish. It's deeply concerned with our planet's environment, and no one has ever seen anything quite like it.
With full confidence, I submit to you the portable economic package.
Senator, this will cost only $10.99?
$10.99.
That man's an idiot.
I'll say it again.
Somebody call security.
$10.99.
What could anyone possibly get for $10.99?
I'll give you my boy.
Bigfoot Pizza from Pizza Hut with that special crust delivered for only $10.99.
Hey, Dad, who's going to sponsor this bill?
Bigfoot Pizza, a legendary value.
Greg Lucas back along with Reed Geddes. We're in the closing moments of the Texas Tech Rice game, and today's Dr. Pepper player of the game is a guy that had a super first half and really set the tone. Jason Sasser, 29 points. He had 18 in the first half, 12 rebounds. The sophomore from Dallas Kimball is our Dr. Pepper player of the game.
Now for Texas Tech, there's two guys on the floor that don't shoot free throws very well. Darvin Ham and Mark Davis are both right around 50%, and Davis has really been struggling here. Oh, no.
Well, they didn't let him dunk again. It's almost a challenge, I guess. The foul is called on Rice.
Yeah, Rice really needed to run out and foul Mark Davis when he got the ball. The kid's only really struggling. He's shooting 20% from the free throw line in the last 5 games.
Well, 2 players out already. Put the offensive team back in with Peaks and Tynes. And Hughes at the free throw line. 24 points for Hughes. And you get 2 more to shoot. I'll tell you what, he's getting his free throw percentage up. He was shooting 66%. He's been popping them in here.
Coming into this game, Rice was #1 in the Southwest Conference in scoring defense, so only allowing, as you see, 69 points a game. Texas Tech has really stuck it on him with just some scorching shooting today.
Minute 30 to go. Andrews blocking foul out. He was having to kind of work like a bull in the china shop there, but he got away because Ham was moving back with him, and so he was able to sort of run into him and get the foul on Ham, and Ham fouls out. He fouls out with 8. That's right at his average.
Did a great job defensively the whole ball game. Did a good job blocking shots, did a good job grabbing rebounds.
He did something else that we didn't get to show you because the fact that the first game ran a little long, but he won the opening tap, and that is all 16 games this season that Darvin Ham has won the opening tap for Texas Tech.
That's coming from a 6'7" kid.
Andrews will be at the free throw line. 1+. He has scored 2 free throws in the second half. He'll have 1 more. The game plan for Texas Tech on the defensive end was superb. Now, they've obviously scored enough points, 85, but they've done a great job of keeping Andrews from being a factor. He's got 8 points.
And James Dickey's got to be really excited because this makes 2 consecutive games that they've really put together 40 minutes of quality basketball, both on the offensive end and on the defensive end.
That's a 4th foul on Clay. But Rice packing up some totals here. Kevin Rabbit's fouled out. Peaks has 4. Tynes 4. Clay's now 4. McGee 3. And again, they make that defense-offense change coming out as both Glaze and Cravens, and back in are Tynes and Peaks. Davis at the free throw line. Again, we'll be getting out of here quickly following the game. Reminder, next week, University of Houston takes on Rice. That'll be the noon game, and then Texas Tech will host the top team in the league, 5-0, Texas A&M. At least they're 5-0 right now. Both these teams, all 4 teams, be playing games in midweek. Davis gets the free throws.
Boy, he didn't look like a 54% free throw shooter that time.
87-71. Singletary for three. Andrews tracks it down, dribbles it off his foot, but peaks. Minute 10, Singletary with a left-hand leaner. Sasser another rebound. At least 13. And Clayton will bring the ball across the line, slowing down a little bit with 1 minute to play. Red Raiders are going to go 3-2 in conference play, and that will be Rice's record. They'll be tied in league play. Red Raiders will be 500 overall at 8-8. Rice will drop off to 11-6 as Sasser can't get it to fall on the rebound off to Singletary. Peaks is foul. They won't even let him have a freebie.
I'll tell you what, this late in the game, they're still not going to let him have one.
Clayton with a foul, and Andrews will shoot two with 40 seconds left. Had some snow overnight in Lubbock, about an inch. Most of it melted off, but they say they may have more tonight and tomorrow.
Great time of the year when all smart athletes come indoors.
That's right. P.J. Tyler of Texas leads the Southwest Conference in scoring, and Andrews came into this game at 21-4, but he's going to drop off as he has scored 9 points, and it's 87-72 with 40 seconds to play. The Owls still working on the press. You wonder why it's a lead like it is. Well, coaches use this for practice. I mean, there may be a game in which this makes the difference.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And it's better to practice it against yourself. Davis with the rebound, the basket, and it's 89-72.
That was a big Troy Aikman pass.
Yes. And he will be in action in the Super Bowl. And of course, the Rice people are proud to remind people that 20 years ago tomorrow, the Texas Super Bowl was played at Rice Stadium, 1974. It's one of the Minnesota Vikings losses. They lost to Miami. It's 89-72. Davis on the other end. 91-72. And the rebound to Sasser, giving one more, and that retires the clock. 91-72 the final. We'll be back for a quick wrap-up in just a moment.